Hello. Oh my God, I just realized I have. Hello, good evening. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. Did you notice what I noticed? I'll see how long it's going to take you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining. Hello, Chinwei. Good evening. How are you today? I hope you're okay, Chinwei. Thank you for joining us. You're the first person I can see her name right now, so I'm really happy to see a friendly face. Thank you, Grace. Good evening. Thank you for joining. How are you? Good evening, everyone. I'm excited to join you this evening. As well as being excited, I'm a little bit sober as well, and I'll tell you later the reason. Hello, Stella. Ikechi, good evening. Ochi, good evening. Thank you for joining. How are you today? Oyeni, good evening. Julie's laughing really, like, I don't know why, but I'll find out soon. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining. Hello, Charles. Good evening. Thank you all. Thank you, Stella. Again, I appreciate you. Guys, please, without further ado, can you please share? I think Julie has noticed what I noticed as well, so maybe that's why she's laughing. But I'm sure you guys have noticed as well. Okender, good evening. Richard, how are you? Thank you for joining. Goody, good evening. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Idehi, how are you? Thank you for joining. Please share this. Hello, Mark. Thank you for joining us this evening. So today we're going to be reflecting on the Sunday's teaching last night. I think it's a very interesting teaching, especially over the last few days since we finished HMT. And to be frankly honest with you guys, I'm really tired. I'm really tired. I feel sober inside of me. I feel very sad. You know, Kende, good evening. Lily, good evening. I feel sad. I feel sober. So I'm wondering, how are you feeling? You know, how are you feeling about this? Let's reflect. Let's talk about this and what's going on with syncretism and the church especially. I just want us to talk about it. I don't really like talking about the church because I seem like sometimes when I talk about it, it sounds like I'm anti-church, and a lot of people are very much used to church. It's like trying to take a drug from somebody and just withdrawing it anyhow, or, you know, even saying to somebody that the family that they've known all their life their family is not good. So it's really challenging to talk about it without actually stepping on toes. And, you know, I'm usually, I just want to stay away from it, even though my desire is for us to talk about it. But I also understand that a lot of people have not actually arrived at the stage that I've arrived in terms of my understanding of how my Christianity or my relationship with God is or should be. Or actually, it's not even about arrival. It's more about we have it at different levels. I might not prefer to go to church, but you prefer to go to church, and it doesn't mean that yours is less or mine is better. So I just want to discuss the real challenging issue of syncretism and the syncretism within the church and what we can do about it, because I'm sick and tired of watching some of these videos and being alluded to some of the challenges and the things that I've already systematically crept in to religion, to crept into churches, to Christianity especially. And right now, you know, my heart is a little bit broken. You know, yesterday was about deliverance, syncretism in relations to deliverance, and the way that those people that are supposed to protect us, that are supposed to lead us, are supposed to be our covering, you know, in so many ways, how they abuse especially women. But I don't want this to be a gender-based issue, okay? It's not about gender. I would hate it if it's done to men as well, and I will also, as much as I hate it being done to women, but it's usually women. So I just want us to have a one-to-one. Let's talk like one-to-many, or, you know, as ever you think about it. Let's have this discussion. I want us to also come up with a solution at the end of our discussion. I just don't want us to talk and, you know, talk and talk and talk. I want us to go out with an action plan. What are we going to do? What are we going to do differently with this knowledge, this understanding that we're coming to? And, you know, how are we going to change it individually? Because, you know, there's power in one. You know, there's also power in unity. But in order for unity to come, one has to understand the power first of that one singular person, and then the power of unity will be formed. So each individual have to understand their power for the masses to form. So let's have this discussion. Let's have this discussion as friends would or family would. I count you as a friend already. I count you as family also. So I really welcome your opinion, your thoughts on this. So let's have a real good dialogue on this issue. Hello, Anne. Good evening. Thank you for joining. Hi, Samuel. Good evening. How are you today? Hello, Magdun. Hello, Maurice. Hello, Idorenyim. That's Charles. Good evening. Thank you for joining. Adetunji. Good evening. Olaniyi. Good evening. Richard. Good evening. Huwa. Good evening. Ifenyuwa. Good evening. Tolu. Good evening. Lily. Kende. Mark. Ideni, I think I've said hello to the rest of the people that I can see at the top. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Without further ado, guys, you know what I'm going to say next, don't you? I think you do. Okay? Share, 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 please. So, guys, please, I would ask you to please share this video with other people. What you can do to share is you can tag somebody. How do you tag? You use the @ symbol. So it's a symbol that you use for your email and the person's name without any space at all. So @ symbol and then the person's name. Usually Facebook will populate names for you and you can select the name. One @ or one symbol, one tagging symbol per person. So you have to do it several times to tag more than one person. So do that, because what happens with that is that the person will be mentioned and Facebook will send the notification that you are mentioned. The person's name was mentioned in a program, so the person will usually join. So that's a really good way to invite people. Hi, Aisha. Hi, Zadok. I know Aisha is in because you know what? When she comes in, she just showers me with so much love and I appreciate it. I feel it. Even in my peripheral vision, I can see that she just entered into the forum, should I say? Or she just entered and she's sending me love. Thank you so much, Aisha. Salamatu, hello, good evening. Thank you for joining. So guys, that's the tagging, is using the @ symbol and the person's name. And then this other way is the easiest one, which is just clicking on the share button or the share sign or the share word. Just click on it and that will go onto your page directly. You can also share with the comments or you can just share without any comments. Either way works very well. And another way that you can also invite people is just clicking invite or tapping invite, depending on your device. So do as you wish, please. Thank you. I appreciate you if you do all 3 methods. That would be really, really great, because then more people will join us. Hello, Rufaro. How are you? Thank you for joining. I hope you're all well today. So thank you. So today we're going to reflect on the series Dr. Sunday is doing. Not just the series, but last night's program itself was about syncretism in relations to deliverance. And my heart was really broken yesterday watching this, but I think my heart has been broken slowly over the last few days, especially, you know, with the way syncretism has really crept into the church and the way that we as individuals, just ordinary people, how we've just accepted this and we let these atrocities just continue. So I just want us to come up with a solution. I want us to be a team. You know, I'm a project manager by career, or should I say by occupation. And with that, I always like to look for solution. I always believe that there's a solution with anything, and I'm willing to try anything. And I also believe in communication with each other to find that solution. So guys, you can engage with me, or we can engage together in 2 different ways. Number one, you can write your comment in the comment section so that I know your opinion, I know what you're thinking about this, and I read it out. Or you can also call Move Agent Madik. That is the Facebook profile that we communicate through, where you can hear each other. It's like having a phone number, but it's not a phone number. It's a Facebook profile, and you just go onto the messenger. Move Agent Madik will put a tag on there so that you can see. So guys, let's do this. What are your thoughts on these teachings and also some of the videos that Dr. Sunday has shown? And okay, your thought is one thing, but I also want to know what you're going to do, what your understanding is. First, okay, maybe we should start with an understanding. What is our understanding of the syncretism in relations to, yesterday's one was deliverance, but we had in relations to the church, we had relations to other things previously. So in relations to deliverance, what are your thoughts on this? Have you been a victim of this? Or even if you've been a perpetrator of this? Because, you know, there's always a side to each story. So there's always 2 sides. I would say there's always a side to the stories. Okay, so let's talk. If you're somebody, maybe you're a pastor yourself, or you're an evangelist, or whatever you are, and you've been a perpetrator of this because of a reason, maybe you could enlighten us a bit on why is this happening. And if you've been a victim, we could talk about it. And even if you haven't been and you have a solution, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what we're going to do differently. I think we're really in the season of change and a season of revolution. So let's do it now. I think we can do it. Global Team says, I think that we should air this program or teachings on Nigerian TV for awareness. Thank you, Global. Like, we are always open to suggestion on how we could air it, but you know, this program is available free of charge and is available on YouTube. Sunday Adelaja Official is also available on Telegram and is also available on SoundCloud. So for those who have data, who have challenges with data, you can go onto Telegram and on SoundCloud to listen to this, and it won't cost you much at all. And if you have the resources such as the internet or the data, especially if you're in Africa, then feel free to go on YouTube, and you can also download this. And also there are places where you can get it free of charge. But go back to your question. You can get it free of charge to download, especially in Nigeria. So you go back to your question or to your comments. I think that we should air this program on or teachings on Nigerian TV for awareness. Yes, I think we should. I totally agree with you. If you've got suggestions for that, please let us know. But we are working on various avenues that we can share these teachings. In the meantime, we also have it on WhatsApp. A lot of people have mobile devices, so they can use it and they can learn and they can hear this teachings on the go wherever they are. So we have WhatsApp, and we can, if you're interested, we'll put a link up so that you can get in touch with us with the WhatsApp. But while it's not on TV in Nigeria yet, which I'm hoping maybe, I'm a very hopeful and optimistic person, so I'm hoping maybe by the end of this year we'd have some schedule on how it's going to be on TV. But that's a very, very good suggestion, and I think that if I hope by the end of this year we'd have it on there. Hello, Kaz. Thank you for joining. Mayowa looks stressed. You know, Kaz, you know what? I'm not stressed. I'm a little bit sober. And I think the reason you think I'm stressed is because I haven't applied one thing that I usually apply, that I'm also, including share. I'm also known for. I think you guys will probably have guessed. So that's probably why I kind of look like a plain Jane. And, you know, just enjoy it. Just enjoy the variety of Mayowa Kaz. So it's not, I'm not stressed at all. I'm a little bit tired, but not stressed. I'm also sober because of the topic over the last few weeks and the challenges of just looking as a spectator, looking at what is happening. I'm really, really unhappy just to watch how people are being abused, how people are being degraded, especially women in this syncretism and some of the things that are happening with so-called men of God, and how they are supposed to protect us. And it's not just women, men of God. I also heard that even women pastors and bishops and all that, they also do this kind of things as well. They're all in the same carcass. So I was a little bit, so I'm still a little bit sad about it. Oh, Chinwe already guessed. No lipstick. Exactly. Chinwe got it. That's it. No lipstick, guys. And that's the reason why you might think I look stressed, but I'm not stressed at all. I am tired, but I'm not stressed. And I'm a little bit sober as well. So that's two things that I think that might also be, three things that I think might be an influence to the way I look this evening. Okay, Chinwe says, yes, I agree that the teachings should go on national TV and radio. Yes, I know, Chinwe, you're quite passionate about the teachings, and you know what is done for you. You're also somebody that is very compassionate, so you want everybody else to see and know what you know. So yes, I think it would be, I hope by the end of this year, that's my own focus, that it should be by the end of this year. So guys, let's have this discussion. Let's do it, man. Don't worry about me not wearing my, what should I say, my poster, signature, that's it, my signature item of makeup. But don't worry, you know, this is about the content, not about the, what should I say, the, you know, the visual. You can sleep and listen to me, okay? Don't worry, I'm okay. All right. Thank you very much for your concern, though. That's really nice of you. Okay, so guys, so what are your thoughts? Maybe I should share some of my thoughts. I think you know them already. I feel really sad. I feel sad that we as individual, one by one, I feel like we are also part of the perpetrators, and I don't really know what to do about it. I have come to the stage where I think that even the perpetrator, for me, they're also victims. But I think that the victim level is different, and the victim viewpoints are different as well. So the victims in terms of the perpetrators, who are the people that are doing these atrocities, the people that are mixing syncretism with faith in Christ, with Christianity. I think they're victims because if they had let the right cause, this is my mental belief, this is my own beliefs, allowing the right cause and being part of the people that champion, especially if they're in the position that they are, that champion the right cause, they actually would get a reward as well, because every time we do things right, we get a reward for doing those things right. And when we do something wrong as well, we also get the reward of doing it wrong. So I think that what they are achieving now, what they're getting, maybe financial gain, maybe power, maybe accolade, is nothing in relations to what they would have got if they have been the perpetrators or the driver of the right things to do, the things that they're supposed to do as Christ has actually established. So I'm just wondering out there that for me, they're also victims, but they're victims of a different level, of a different maybe caliber. And then for the ones that I feel so sad for are the real victim, in my own eyes, who are also the people that are being affected so much by this. They're affected financially, but the financial effect is not even such a big deal to me. I think more so is the mental impact of, you know, just watching some of this Deliverance and the way that people are hit, you know, anyhow, like bam, bam, you know, or pushed. And, you know, nowhere in the Bible has it been written or seen or established in any way that Jesus did this. It's nowhere. So I really don't understand where we got this from. And then even understanding where we got it from is one thing, but accepting it. Why is it that we're accepting it? Why is it that you as a woman, or even other men in the church, because you see the crowds in the church, why do you see other people being treated this way and we say nothing? You know, and I'm asking myself this question as well, because I have been in church and I've been in Deliverance churches where things has been happening, and I also just go along and I just sit there. But now I have a better understanding, I have a better knowledge. So hello Mary, I see that Mary has also entered. Good evening Mary, thank you for joining us. So I just want to know, what can we do? So first of all, the why is that, why do we keep quiet? Why do we not take any action whatsoever when we see this kind of atrocity? And why do we even engage in it? I'm asking myself this question as well. Why would somebody be doing a deliverance, or, you know, they're doing prayer session and then, you know, they just hit you like this on the head or your chest or something, and you think it's okay, even as a congregation or as a person that is being done to? Why is it that we're not speaking? Why is it that we're not saying stop it? And even our problems, the deliverance that they're delivering us from, is still existing. If we, you know, those things are still happening, we still have those challenges, and we're not saying anything. Hi Jane, good evening, thank you for joining. So let me know your thoughts. You know, can you please also call, because I think it's always really good when we have somebody speaking on the phone and joining me rather than just my voice alone. I love reading from you. You can also write in the comment section and I'll read your comments right away. So please let me know your thoughts on this. Olajide says, Achinwe, you to the Luko. Olajide for me read Chinwe's comments about what is missing with me today, and the reason why. Well, it's very obvious, guys. is extremely obvious. I noticed actually when I came to sit down, but it was too late for me to apply it. Otherwise, I would have applied it for you, because I don't want you to not recognize me when you see me. But hey, I know that you do recognize me, so I'm not worried. Thank you so much though, guys. So let's focus on this topic today. So what are your thoughts? What do you think about this? Why is it? And then also, after we finish the why, let's go to the solution. What are we going to start doing differently? How are we going to combat this as individual? How are we going to stop this from continuing? You know, if you're in a church where you're very used to deliverance ministry coming, and then they're doing all sorts of deliverance services, and they're doing all these things, you know, hitting people in the head. Well, from your understanding of the teachings now, are you going to take any actions? And if you are, what actions are you going to take? Let us know. Maybe we can learn from you as well. I think it would be nice to help each other to understand and know what to do. Mary just noticed something. Not to worry, your lips look great like that too. Oh, thank you. My lips look great like that. Mary, you're wonderful. Thank you very much. I'm not worried at all, you know. Usually I'm not even the, don't let me talk about myself and my makeup, but you know, just let's focus, guys. Come on. Okay, so Osagi must be asking when DSA is coming. You have Tony there that's rightly helped you to say Dr. Sunday will be coming at 7 p.m. That's 7 p.m. UK time, but that'll be 8 p.m. Nigeria time, depending on where you are. Check your local time, please. That's at 9 p.m. Ukraine time. Major reason is ignorance. So Goody is giving me a response to my question, and I appreciate that, Goody. So keep it coming. Major reason is ignorance. How can you correct what you think is right? Absolutely. I think, you know, that's one of the things that I used to console myself, that it was ignorance, you know. But, you know, how, okay, I don't want to keep asking the how question, because I think sometimes the how question doesn't solve problem, but at the same time, I know the how question also solve problems. So I don't know if I'm making sense. The how question sometimes doesn't solve anything, but sometimes the how question help you to then combat the issue. So I get it. It's ignorance. I get it. So if I already think that this is right, this is the norm, this is what they do in deliverance, and this is what works. So if I see it being done, I just, you know, turn a blind eyes. And that's just due to the fact that I didn't read the Bible. I didn't have a relationship with God myself. My relationship with God is self-centered. It's about me, what I want, and the challenges that are affecting me in life, without looking and asking God to just use his magic wand to turn all my problems and all the things I want to appear and the problems to disappear. So yes, ignorance is a major part. So right now we have an understanding. We have an understanding that is wrong. Goody, why don't you answer this as well? Why is it then? What are we doing now? So let's say now we understand that we know that is wrong. Okay, I think we would agree that is wrong, and it's not something that we should accept. So no more ignorance. Ignorance is now been removed. We're in the light. We know better. So what would you do? How would you go and approach this? Within your church, within an atmosphere where you happen to be there and you see that this is happening, what would you do differently, Goody? Please share it with us, because I don't know. I think a lot of people are so stuck in this rut that they don't even know what to do. They might not themselves participate in it in terms of actually allowing anybody to maybe hit them in the head again, or tell them to come for deliverance again. A lot of people watching Dr. Sunday or has been watching Dr. Sunday may not, but it doesn't stop at that. One thing I realized with the last HMT about personality is that it's not just about what I do well. If there is still, I am as good as the list of people that is in my environment, that is in my my environment, my vicinity. So if there's somebody in my vicinity or in my environment that has this ignorance, I'm still as ignorant as them. That's just the way I see things now. And if there's any atrocities that is going on, and even though I know better, but I wouldn't do, or I didn't do anything about it, then I am just part of the perpetrator. I am the problem myself. So now, Goody, ignorance has been removed. Where do we go from here? Osagi, thank you for joining us. In fact, he has to come. DSA must come, or DSA will come. Don't worry, Osagi, it will come. Mary, my problem with the miracle healing is the shouting. Why are they always shouting like that? It's very irritating. Excuse me, Mary. Okay, Mary, you know what? The shouting is all a packaging together, you know. They're shouting, even if they're not shouting, you know. I'm just so pained, if I can use that word, by the way they hit people, the way they embarrass women, all the syncretism, the ESP that they do, the handshaking and all those things that they do. And then I'm also perplexed. I'm perplexed that these people, clearly the problems are not solved. Pastor Dr. Sunday alluded us to something yesterday that, you know, why are people coming back for the same prayer over and over again? You know, because he read one chapter, he read something about the something, I don't know in what verse, that repeating yourself and like pagans. Why are people coming back? First, the deliverance didn't work, right? Secondly, the prayer is the same prayer that we pray over a long period of time. So what is that you're coming back for? Why are you coming back? Why are you reapplying the same thing when it didn't work before? So, and it says, you know, doing the same thing and getting the same result is insanity. Are we truly insane and we don't realize that we're insane? You know, this is just a question. It's an open question. It's not, there's no, it's not meant to put anybody down. Are we insane that we're going over and over to these churches, to these gatherings? We're going for deliverance. We're going for certain things, and those problems are not solved. You know, one of the videos that I watched, I also wondered that how many of those people that have been delivered, like the one that Chris, is it Pastor Chris of Christ Embassy did, where the man was lying down paralyzed and he was moving his legs and everything. Is there any statistics on what happened to those people? Are they still okay? Is it just a one-off thing that was televised or recorded, and was there a follow-up? You know, I know I'm speaking grammar right now, especially for those who are in Nigeria. That was this one talking about? Get out of here. I'm sure that you guys are saying, what is this one talking about statistics or whatever? You know, there's no model of checking to see if those people are actually truly healed and they're well now, or even some of them may have died, because those were rigorous things that were done to them, you know, drinking bleach, sitting on them, you know, maybe they have certain problems after some of the things that the pastors did. We don't know. We just see the part that we saw. So it would be interesting if anybody knows. I know this guy, this actor, talked about his mother dying, even after all the embarrassment, the humiliation to him and over his mom dying. But that's just one person that is saying that. I really am interested to know how many people survived and how many people have also been going to church and their problems are solved. All those things that people are going to deliverance for. What are the results? What are the end results over a long period of time? Please don't take me as somebody that's speaking grammar. I'm just speaking out loud, okay? I just want us all to rub minds together. There must be a solution. And for the person that gave a really good comment there, where he or she said that, I think it was Goody, that it was ignorance. Now we're not ignorance anymore. We have better mind, sound mind. We know what's going on. We know what is being done is wrong. But how do we combat it? How do we resolve this, that he doesn't continue? So please, let's share our thoughts. You can call us on Move Agent Madik on Facebook profile, Move Agent Madik on Messenger. I will look forward to speaking to you soon. Goody says, it's tough. These pastors can control the pulpit and audience. If you don't use wisdom, they will say you are demon-possessed, and their faithful audience will believe them. Okay, that's true. Yes, okay. Not that it's true that you're demon-possessed, but it's true that they could say that, yeah. But, okay, if they say that, I'm just trying to dissect this. So what if they say that you're demon-possessed? You know, the problem is that I've noticed, or maybe it's not a problem, but some of the things that we fail to really consider in situation is that whenever we consider a situation true, We think that everything that the beginning and end of every situation or every action or every occurrence is all physical. Not everything will be physical. Some also we have to really trust God and truth. I'd rather say let's trust truth to defend itself. So let's say you spoke out, you say something, and they said that you are demon possessed, but evidently, you're not demon possessed. You're making sense. I believe God and the Holy Spirit will minister to people. I don't think it's a valid reason not to say anything, because I'm afraid that a pastor will say that I'm demon possessed. I've had friends, I've had people misjudge me and say things that is not true, but it shouldn't stop us from saying the things that we see that are wrong and actually challenging those things. So I want to look at the worst case scenario of being told that you're demon possessed. If you shout out and you say, please don't do this to these people, please, this is wrong, pastor, I need to talk to you. So if they do that, what then? And then they say, look, this person is demon possessed. Would they send a mob to you to do something to you? I don't know. Or okay, if maybe we're not going to shout in the middle of a service. Maybe that's not even wise to do that. Of course, it's not wise. Thinking about that. But let's think about other ways. Could you be doing a live program where you just spend 5 minutes to just allude people to your thoughts and just say, this is wrong. I saw this video where this person is doing this, even if it's not best quality, like maybe you don't have the editing skills to do the editing, just have your phone, for example, have your phone like this and show the video and then talk into your video, the device that you're using, that look, do you remember this video? People would have seen it, and then say something. So that way, you're not even in their midst where they're actually taking that action, because you're right. It's very possible that, you will be linked by a mob of faithful people to these pastors and leaders. But what about you just doing your video in the comfort of your home? Let's not base our decisions on fear. I think I've mentioned this a lot, because I am one person that used to base my decision on, I didn't know it was fear. I just thought I was being pragmatic by thinking things through and then deciding not to go ahead. But I always decide not to go ahead based on what may go wrong. And I surely got my lessons with Dr. Sunday. He taught me that you should never base decision on fear. The fear might not even happen. And even if it does, then you just have to face it. You just have to deal with it. So that's one of my biggest lesson this year, is that never to make a decision on fear. Make it on faith and make your decision on love. Those are the two things. But you just mentioned there is fear. And we can't be making a decision based on fear. So let me know your thoughts. I'm really loving some of the comments that I'm hearing. And actually, I'm loving all of the comments that you guys are writing down. And I'm appreciating it very much. Hello, Sure say, Paul. Thank you. We have Nemo that says, I think Sure said, I always enjoy this discussion. Thank you. This station. Thank you very much. I hope you're a follower, like you've got your like button clicked, and also you get notification regularly. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hello, Gift Blessing. Thank you for joining us. So Nemo says, how can you be spirit-filled and demon-possessed? It doesn't make sense at all. Scriptural and common sense. Yes. So if we're going by that, they would say that we are demon-possessed because we are talking against what they're saying. Even Dr. Sunday has been called all sorts of names, including Antichrist. So in a situation where, first of all, we're not ignorant anymore because we know the truth now and we know what we ought to do, and we want to do what we ought to do, okay? So trying to do what we ought to do, we're looking for solutions to combat these atrocities of, especially with the topic yesterday, that syncretism in relations to deliverance, especially women being the main victims of this, with this, a lot of embarrassment, humiliation, a lot of, abuse, physical abuse, hitting a woman hard, clearly looking like they've been hypnotized of some sort, or they have been controlled by some sort of demonic power that you can see clearly. And these are people that went into the church for protection, and then they've been exposed in such embarrassing ways. So we're saying that, right, first of all, we were ignorant. And then we came to light, we came to the knowledge. And then from that knowledge, what are we going to do differently? So first is understanding, and then we gain understanding, and now the solution. But how are we going to apply those solutions? So let me know your thoughts. So Nemo is saying that you cannot be demon-possessed and spirit-filled at the same time. So I don't know. You know, the whole thing is just beyond me. I'm telling you, I feel tired, like exhausted with this, the level of our acceptance to things that are clearly wrong in the name of God. And even in the name of God, there's nowhere or any way that we've seen this practice in the Bible or by Christ. So if we're even saying in the name of God, why then do we even accept this? It's bitterly painful for me, and I just want solution. I don't also believe in just talking. I believe that talk should lead to an action, and that action should lead to a solution rather than just an action for the action's sake. So let's see. Please, guys, we're rubbing minds together. I really want to know your thoughts on this. I'm really pleased that you've joined me this evening, and I'm looking forward to hearing your contribution and seeing your contribution and reading. So we have Nemo again says, I think people have to know the person of the Holy Spirit beyond speaking in tongues. Wow, that's a good point. You know, I don't speak in tongues, especially. I don't speak in tongue, not especially, but I do not speak in tongue personally, I meant to say. And I don't speak in tongues for many reasons. I know there are reasons for speaking in tongues, and I know many people that I respect very much that speaks in tongues. But I don't understand this. I don't get it. I'm not even going to try. I know that it says that we should, but I also think that God works in different ways. He uses different people, and it doesn't, you know, it's not a compulsory thing. There was a time that I was actually being coached to speaking in tongues, but it never happened for me, and I didn't have any regret that it didn't happen. I wasn't sober at all. I was just fine with the whole thing. Hello, Sure Exy says, why is it that it is only Nigerian African church this deliverance is happening? Sure Exy, you know, Paul, it's not only Nigerian African church, unfortunately. You know, I lived in England, and it's happening in England as well. Yes, it is African churches, but it's not Nigerian. It's happening in Ghanaian churches. It's happening in name it, South African churches. It's happening in several different types of churches. So it is happening in mostly African churches. You're right, and it's usually black congregation. But that's a valid question. Why is it even happening in African churches, regardless of whether it's Nigerian, or why is it even happening in any church? Let's take the Nigerian and African out, even though we can't totally dismiss it, because you're right, but it's not only there. Nemo says Kenyan church are the same. You see, this is exactly my point. So it's not just Nigerian churches, but the question still remains to be answered. Why is it happening in African churches? Let's answer that question as well. Is it because we are, I don't know. Omolaja, good evening. Thank you for joining. Plutonic says, Liberian churches do it a lot too. Wow, that's Liberian churches. Sorry, Liberian churches. Plutonic, honestly, you know, hearing that as well is making me sad. But you know, Liberia, of course, I'm not surprised. No, I'm sorry if I laugh out loud. It's because of the way that Julie is laughing here. So please accept my apology. Nemo says Kenya churches are the same. Yes, I've read that. I think we have to know that. Okay, I've read that also. Where is our pastor? Your pastor is coming. I think you're talking about Dr. Sunday Adelaja. Yes, he will be with us at 9 p.m. Ukraine time, which is just in over an hour from now, an hour 20 minutes to be precise. It would be with you. So Shorexy, or is it Shorexy Paul? You know, because I don't know if I'm pronouncing that first name correctly, but Paul he will be with you shortly. Okay, so see you. Thank you for joining me. I hope you will stay, but Dr. Sunday will be here in an hour, 20 minutes. Hello, Gift. Good evening. Thank you for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How can, okay, I've read that as well. Annam said, now, okay, now we don't know who to trust anymore. Wow. You know, reading that, I feel very, very sad. It's a very difficult situation to be, not knowing who to trust. But I'm going to address that because why shouldn't we know who to trust? I think we should know who to trust now. It's sad to hear to read that, but it's not true that we shouldn't know what to trust, because this is the whole point of knowing the truth and being ministered the truth. What don't we know who to trust, Annam? I think we know who to trust. We know to trust the people that what they're saying is clearly not in violation to any human being. It's clearly aligned. It's not in this order that it should be. I'm just saying it as I can remember it. It's clearly aligned with what Jesus Christ did, the Spirit of God, you know, how God does things. You know, if it's not in the way that it's done, how God has done things, no, then, you know, you don't trust them. If it's about fear, you don't trust them, because that's manipulation. You know, if it's about anything that says you need to go through somebody in order to achieve what you need, then you don't trust them. They set very, very clear parameters now with the knowledge and understanding that I have gained through listening to Dr. Sunday. And it's not just listening to Dr. Sunday, you know, it's also been in my own heart. I've been ministered to. There's something in me, which I believe would be the Holy Spirit, that is telling me that these are the right ways, you know. And also, even if I use my head, the sound mind that God is giving me, I see that clearly this makes more sense than what I have been practicing. So, Annam, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I don't agree with that we don't know who to trust. We ought to know now with what we know, that who to trust and who not to trust. So don't let us be victim mentality. Even if we are going to be that way, we should be that way on the side of solution and liberation. So too many fake pastors everywhere, scamming their followers and extorting their finances. China, wow. I like that writing. It's very, very authentic. So thank you. Yes, Annam, yes, they are fake pastors everywhere. They're scamming their followers and extorting their finances. But this is why we're here, because we have the knowledge, that have the understanding. We don't have it just for the sake of acquiring this. We have it to be a solution. So I just want to discuss with us today what the solution could be. What are your thoughts? I want us to rub our minds together to come up with solutions. We have had a few suggestions which are along the line that, first of all, we didn't have the knowledge, we were ignorant. But now that we've come to the knowledge, what can we do? And one of the things that I suggested was that we should speak out. And how do we speak out? Do we speak out while we are in the environment and shout that fake pastor or fake person, liar, liar? No, we don't need to do that. You know, that doesn't speak well even of us. You know, we need to do this with sound mind, and we need to do this in the Spirit of God. Not also to condemn these people, not to condemn them, to make them non-entity in terms of who they are as individual, but also to stop what they're doing. It's the atrocity that we have a problem with. We do not have a problem with the human being. The human being's story has not ended with God, and therefore we do not want to terminate that human being, or we don't want to actually make that human being not to even love God or anything. We just want them to stop the atrocities. And the many ways that we can do that. So we could actually talk about it as we are doing now. You know, we can show videos. We can lend our voice. We can lend our understanding as well. Because, you know, sometimes I'm thinking something, right? And because other people are not saying anything, I quickly dispel what I'm thinking, and that might be a sound thought. But I would just abandon it because I'm looking around me, seeing other people. And because nobody is saying anything, I then just stop. I think it's very important to speak. You know, there's a value in actually saying something. I know a lot of the time we've been actually subdued by being told, you know, silence is golden, keep quiet, use the other cheek 77 times, and all those things. They've been twisted and manipulated. So a lot of us have just been very passive, even when we see things that are wrong, that we personally know that we're wrong, and we think, okay, personally I know that it's wrong, I'm not going to be taken aback with this. But you know what, by not speaking, you are being taken aback with it. You are being affected by not saying anything, because if you think you not saying anything would help you and you would just go quietly, no, you are actually just you're just keeping a designated bomb somewhere that is sooner or later a bomb somewhere that sooner or later is going to be designated, and it's going to be a big problem for everybody in the environment, including you. So we're actually all messing ourselves up. I know I've been talking a lot. I really want somebody to call me so that we can actually hear another person's voice to get to the bottom of this challenge and actually have a solution. So if you're out there and you can speak to me, please call me on Move Agent Madik. That's a Facebook profile called Move Agents Madik. That's Move Agents Madik. Okay, so please, I'm expecting your call. And then we have Mary. Okay, I love what Mary is saying here. She's saying that the only way to resolve this is to start speaking out. Wow, it's like you're inside my mind. Thank you very much. You see, we are all thinking alike now, but we also need to think alike with solution and look for solution and bring about different solutions. So we can think of the problem alike, that okay, this is the problem, I agree, but also we can also think in different ways of applying solution or even preferring solution. So let's be bold and stand for what we believe is even if what we believe is evil. If we have to okay, let me go back. Let's be bold and stand for what we believe believe in. Okay, even if we have to open the same Bible and question them with it. Most importantly is to overcome the fear factor of traditions culture has trapped us with. Yes, Mary, that's spot on, because the fear factors are coming from tradition and respect. Usually for younger ones, we respect your elders, full stop, don't think, suspend your brain. We're the elders, what opinion could you have? So you also have to fight against that yourself as an individual, that you have an opinion. Even if you're younger, you can share an opinion, and you want to share your opinion, and you will share your opinion. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the other factors of tradition. So I mentioned that, actually that was what I mentioned. So the tradition, somebody's older, or you should respect people, or because they have this accolade or they have this title, you can't speak, or because you're poor, subserviency as well, because you're poor. What can a poor man say? What opinion does a poor man say? We're all equal in the eyes of God. You know, there's things that we need to apply to acquire riches, but those things has nothing to do with our level of who we are, like in terms of our quality. So we shouldn't allow anybody to put us down over that, what we have in our bank accounts. So traditions, culture has trapped us in. So those are a few things there. You know, fear factor of tradition and culture, they are really, really, really big on this. They're pivotal. They are one of the biggest hindrances, you know, the tradition and culture, where, you know, a lot of people are sustained their mind because somebody is big daddy somewhere, or papa or something. So for those reasons, they cannot say anything. Even, you know, and you know, now that I'm thinking about it, I think really this is just an insult to God, because we're saying that God only give knowledge to people because of their age or because of their level of, you know, finance or financial wealth, or God is partial. I know I say this all the time, that how could you even love a God that is that way? How could you be worshiping that God? You know, I would find it very difficult if I truly believe that God is giving some people things that he refused to give me, and I have to go to those people to get those things before I can get it. You know, I would just feel like, what kind of God is this? Of course, I know that we all have different strengths, but equally, we are equal in God's eyes, and he's giving everybody a great portion. So there's no need for anyone to feel inferior to other people. So those are real big deals. Fear of tradition and culture. So those are the real truth. And also, I think the other thing is about opening the Bible. For once, I never opened the Bible to share anything with anybody, to say that it's in the Bible about, you have to do this. First, I don't know the scriptures. I just know a few scriptures by head, but I don't really know exactly where they are. I can say them, but I don't know where they are in the Bible. So please don't shoot me. I still live functionally well, and I do respect and love God, and I do respect people, and I know the right thing to do and not to do. Okay, so I don't know the scriptures, so that might also be an hindrance, because there are a lot of Bible bashers here. This is people that they just want scriptures for everything. They can't even figure out that something is wrong without you're having to give them a scripture to back it up why it is wrong. That is beyond me. Again, that's another problem generally in society, especially with the religious people. If you say anything, they'll always ask you for scripture. I mean, why do I need to tell you? Why do I need to give you a scripture to tell you? This is going by law. Yes, we do need to know the scriptures and know for a relationship with God, and to also understand some of the challenges that have happened. One of my favorite stories in the Bible is with Job, and I love that story so much because it gave me so much understanding, so much insight to God when I first heard that story. But I'm going in relations to the fact that a lot of people would say to open the Bible. Why do we need to open the Bible? For people to understand logic, to understand reason, to understand compassion, to understand love. Even if you do read the Bible, you have to interpret it first in order for you to know what it's saying. So it might say in the Bible something, but interpretation is also important. So for me, I think that, yes, it is good. It is important. That's why I said I love the story of Job in the Bible. And it gave me a lot of insight on God. So I'm not saying that don't read Bible at all. By all means, I love Bibles. I try to, as much as possible, to read it. And even when I'm like an addict on collecting Bibles, because I just love the different version. And thank God now with the electronic version where you can get all the versions in one place, it's also a solution for me. So I'm not saying not to read our Bible, but I'm saying that, we need to start applying common sense in a lot of these things. Yes, Bible, there's a scripture to back it up, but my problem with the Bible and backing up is that even the people that are committing these atrocities, they are also using the Bible to back up their shameful acts. So what then do you say about, always using the Bible and opening the Bible? Somebody else will twist the Bible. Can we sit down for a little bit and not even think about Bible, but find ways of introducing something to others? But I do get what you're coming from, Mary, and I agree that, yes, some people absolutely need the Bible scripture for understanding. So we also need to be equipped. There's nothing wrong with you knowing your Bible. But can we get to a stage where we can actually apply compassion, we can apply love, we can apply understanding towards each other, we can apply, I've said most of it, compassion, love, understanding, care, all these kind of lovely things that is important in human relations, to explain to people that, of course, why would God want you? For example, if you talk about the deliverance, which was Dr. Sunday's topic yesterday, why would God, maybe we could start with, if we take the deliverance, for example, where in the Bible did God deliver anybody and use any of these things that is being used? Where did God hit anybody? Other than maybe laying hands or speaking and that thing happened. Where is it that he just hit somebody? Where is it that he knocked somebody down? Where is it that there was deliverance and people were shaking all over the floor everywhere? Where? When are we going to get to that point where we would just say that without anybody saying that, look for scriptures for me, for me to tell you? That's just saying that, have you ever heard anywhere where Jesus has delivered anyone and done that? So if anybody can come with that, then maybe we'll get somewhere to understand. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to be something you will find in the Bible. Okay, I'm reading the top questions. They're coming, sorry, this is Chinwe, says, they're coming back for the same thing that did not work. Might be an indication of hypnotism at work. Whoa. Okay, Chinwe just alluded me to something. Actually, that might be that might be the reason. That might be one of the reasons, because if we are going to this church that they're using the hypnotism, and you're praying the same prayers, you're going to do the same deliverance, and you're still going back, which I mentioned earlier, that's insanity. You know, doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same result is insanity. So we're going back. It might be that those people have actually hypnotized others. Apart from brain being brainwashed, hypnotism is also another thing. So hypnotism, and Dr. Sunday mentioned another one yesterday. I don't remember what it's called, but it's along this hypnotism arena. And it might be that's the reason that you're going back, because you've been hypnotized. So I'll say, get out of the kitchen, you know, give yourself some fresh air for some time and see how God has actually ministered to you. Give you an opportunity to really hear God and not be clouded or be constantly under the spell of the hypnotism. But Chinwe, thank you very much for that comment, because that comment has actually alluded me to something that I wasn't considering before. Thank you. Okay, Mary said, I'm glad I've never been a victim to any of this fake miracle service. I have always been very stubborn and never allowed any pastor to lay hands on me, maybe because I was born and raised in Jesse, Juju house, and I've seen a lot. Wow, Mary, you see, this is an insight as well. So your background has actually informed you that this is not even going to happen. This is nonsense. That's interesting, because saying that also, the people that are actually perpetrators of these atrocities, I think some of them are actually born in Juju house as well. They choose to use the Juju house, Juju knowledge, to combine it with the knowledge of Christianity. So that's why it's become syncretism. And then you choose to use yours in a way that, well, I know what's wrong. I know what never worked. And I grew up in this environment, so I'm out of here, man. I don't get it. That's really good. Well done, Mary. That's really, really good of you. That's bold in itself. So, Mary, what I also think that with your knowledge, you should help other people, you know, because you've got insight there. You know better. You know that a lot of these things are things that are wrong. These things are done in Juju house or Juju congregation. So you can share that with people. You can share that with people that don't have any idea what goes on. You know, and trust in God. Please do not be afraid. If, you know, sharing it with us now is liberating, because I'm sure there's somebody hearing this and thinking, wow, this is true. You know, this is very similar to what they do in Juju, even if it's just ones that I see in African movies. This is very similar, and then it will get them thinking. So please lend your voice. Mary, I know you've already said that we should speak out. So this is one avenue or one expertise that you have that other people don't have. The expertise that you know that there's a lot of this that are very similar to Juju practices, and you can share it with other people and allude them to that information where they would also take heed as you have as well. So thank you very much for sharing that knowledge with us. Thank you. Thank you very much, Rita. How are you? Good evening. Thank you for joining. Olajide said, the major problem is ignorance and church creating unbiblical precepts or as doctrine. Yes, it is a major problem. Yeah, it is a problem. And we have identified that problem, ignorance and also precept. But for those of us that are not, we don't have those ignorance and we don't believe in those unbiblical precepts and doctrines, what are we going to do to help our fellow men and you know, just our fellow men and women, if I may say? And what are we going to do to help them? We know the knowledge. We know how are we going to help them. There's thousands of them. It really breaks my heart when I watch these videos and I see the thousands of people that are agreeing with the pastors, with the GOs, with the papas, and they're just like nodding or saying yes or believing. It just breaks me. It breaks me totally. You know, I've seen it so many times that by now, I think that I should have been maybe immune to it. But I think actually, I am now being maybe should I say realigned or maybe reconfigured myself, because usually I really turn a blind eye to things that I cannot take. But I really think that God is actually hearing my prayer and is reforming me in such a way that these things hurt me. It hurts me throughout the day. I can't even think of any, I can think of other things, but while I'm thinking about other things, I'm constantly thinking about all these atrocities and what I can do to be a voice, to be a solution to actually liberate other people into light so that they don't continue to suffer in this, because it hurts me that people are suffering in this way. I'm so devastated by it that I can't believe myself, because, you know, I grew up in England and I see a lot of maybe atrocities in the scale of England, like maybe homelessness and all that. And I usually just like turn my eyes and say, oh, this is nothing, at least, you know. But now I just can't. Even the ones that I know that is happened before, or is still happening, everything is just hurting every part of me now. I really need your help in preferring solution and actually providing it, not just preferring it, but also being that solution, acting the solutions out. So thank you very much, Olajide. We have David that says, the pastors who practice this barbaric deliverance things prey on the ignorance of the illiterate masses and the mistreat people. The nonsense must stop at once. David, this is why we are here. Yes, I totally agree with you. This nonsense must stop. It must stop immediately. You know, how can we make it stop, David? Let's do something. Let's try. You know, I think it's a good start to start sharing our thoughts and showing the videos of where we are finding those atrocities, because what I find is that sometimes when we talk to each other, people don't get it. You know, they don't actually get it until they get a mental or physical image of exactly what we are talking about. You know, before Dr. Sunday started sharing the videos, people just don't see. Sometimes we talk about something and they don't even know that their church is doing it, because there was no image, there's no understanding. They're so used to saying knowing what they know, that they don't see any problem in what they know until there's a physical image to show them that this is the problem. So yes, let's start showing as well. Let's start talking to people and showing the images of the atrocities. If I make mistake and find myself in any place where such atrocity is in progress, I must talk. Oh, yes, Chinwe, please. We must all talk. Thank you very much for sharing that. My problem with the miracle healing is the shouting. Okay, I've read that part, I think. Yes, I did. Okay, so let me go back down and read the ones that I have not read at the bottom. I think our time is up. Guys, let me just remind you, go to Sunday Adelaja Official on YouTube. This is where you'll find all the teachings, all the programs that we do on Facebook, always loaded on YouTube, Sunday Adelaja Official. So you find over, I think it's over in excess of 3,000 now. 3,000 teachings of Dr. Sunday is now available. It's always available on Sunday Adelaja Official. That's Sunday Adelaja on YouTube. And also Dr. Sunday is on SoundCloud. It's on Telegram. I'm going back to my Telegraph newspaper. No, it's Telegram, and also on SoundCloud for those who have data challenges. You can use those two platforms. And also, you know, we have WhatsApp now, so we can also share some of his audios or teachings, should I say, some of his teachings with you on WhatsApp. And the WhatsApp details was pinged up earlier. Anam says, Leo, you're right. So let me read what Leo said first. If I can see it, that would be great. Leo, what did you say? Leo says, most of the African people are very lazy. So they always like to follow shortcuts for easy wealth and miracles. Laziness and impatience are the main cause of all the things that are happening in our churches. Wow, that's true. Laziness. Yeah, complacency. You know, it's not me. It's not me, so I'm not affected. So let me just move on gently, slowly, so that I'm not disturbed. You're all right. You're totally right, Leo. And that's a shame. Can unbelievers become a pastor overnight? This is happening in some churches here in Italy. Yeah, of course. Even some of the people that said that they're believers, I doubt it very much. So I think those are just words. It's more in the action. I like DSA. He doesn't care. He names names. Good. Thumbs up. That's from Anam as well. So we have a caller, and I am excited. Hello. Who's on the line?
Hello.
Hello. Who's this?
This is Chinwe here.
Hello, Chinwe.
How are you doing? Okay.
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
But I'm still resting.
Oh,
okay, I just wanted to contribute something, okay?
Okay.
Most of the people that come to the platform, honestly, have been victims of this in one way or the other, most of them. But people are really a bit worried or scared to talk about their experience. Let me just give you an example. For me, I believe that people have been in this system for a long time, that they don't know the truth. They don't know anything else.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Now, for me, I was born, and before I knew it, my mom was taking me to all these churches because she has a challenge. And every time somebody tells her, oh, something is happening here, miracle, somebody went there, everything was okay, she wants to go. So I think this is a natural thing that people, want to be attracted to, without understanding. Like you said, some people don't read the Bible, or even they read the interpretation that the pastors have given is what is stuck in their head.
Yes.
Now, I'll tell you something. I witnessed a place where I went with my mom, and they prophesied something that happened when I was 6 years old. For God's sake, where did they get that information?
Yeah, but Dr. Sunday spoke about this. This is,
you understand?
Syncretism.
No, the reason I said that is because now, when I reflect on those things and remember what Pastor Sunday is teaching regarding this ESP and hypnotism, then it clicks for me that actually this might be true. But before then, I wouldn't know any other thing. I would just believe what they said is true, because what they told me was true. It's actually happened. It's what happened. And none of them was in my house when it happened.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when they give you some information that you know, you will ask yourself, where did this come from? You'll be forced to believe them. In fact, you have to believe them. You have no choice. So now, when I remember those things and what Pastor is saying, and also telling us what could have been, that's when I'll say, oh, that's so true. That's so true. So what I'm saying is this. What they are telling people is enough to bring people to them, to bring them closer. But what they are doing is what we do not know. We believe that, oh, it's the Spirit of God. They are powerful men. They are prophesying this and that. But how they do it and how they come to that point, nobody knows. Now, there is, I would say, a confusion for some people. The confusion is, if this has been happening and it's true, and this man, Dr. Sunday, is saying something else, how would I, how would I sort this out now? There's so much confusion. People don't know where to go and how to go about it. So I personally think they need time. They need time. Pastor need to keep doing what he's doing, because the more liberation, for me and other people around me, the more we can actually extend it to other people. I have my experience, I've just told you now, and somebody else will have the same experience, and that person will think about and say, actually, this is true. Some people might not talk. Well, I'm talking.
But I think even for you talking now,
because I'm seeing the same thing. I don't want to do that. So it's up to individuals now, knowing the truth and trying to reflect on what they have experienced in the past and what is happening to them right now. You understand? So we need to go on TV, radio, people, all those old women, women are actually more prone to all these things, because they are the ones always looking for solutions to their problems. Men don't talk. They'll keep it to themselves and bottle it in. The ones they can do, they just commit suicide and go. But women want to go and find solutions. Yes, it's true.
I was like, just commit suicide and go.
Yes. Some people do that. When it gets too much for them, they just end it, and that's it. And that is what leads some people to drinking, smoking, doing all sorts of things, because they can't find solution to their problems.
Wow, this is
so
really
sad. If people are taught that problems will always be there, you just have to find a solution and have a way of dealing with it, or get support, I think life will get better.
Wow.
We just keep saying all these things, but we're going to have challenges, because so many people have so much, tied themselves up with all this information that, to be honest with you, it might be a very serious drag to get them out of it. But I believe with time and understanding, and the more you will keep saying it, they will reflect on what's going on in their life and be able to make conscious decision on what to do, whether to get out of it or stay there and just God knows what.
Wow.
So that is just what I can say for now.
Chinwe, I really appreciate your call. I appreciate your transparency, your honesty to just share your life with us. So thank you so much. Thank you for calling. Thank you. Wow. Guys, this is unbelievable. One thing I took out of Chinwe's comment here now is that, number one, we need to speak at any speaking at all, or sharing our experiences with people may save somebody. It may be the tool that will be used to save somebody. Number one. Number two, this is something that Dr. Sunday always says to us, is that we do not, people don't believe the truth. they believe what they hear. So now that we know that people believe what they hear, we now need to combat what we have been hearing that are false, that are not in truth, with the truth, with the absolute truth. So the only way to do that is to also speak the absolute truth, and then leave people to use the sound mind that God has given them to analyze both. Because clearly, the people that are committing this atrocity, they can speak, but they're not speaking the truth. And we know already that we don't believe the truth. We believe only what is repeated, what is being spoken. So now that we know the truth, let us speak the truth so that it can counteract or it can suppress the lies or the non-truth. So that is paramount. We need to do that, because if we don't do that, then we will still continue to live in these atrocities, and this would affect us. It would affect us one way or the other. Even if you have the understanding, imagine if your mom, your dad, your brothers, your cousins don't have this understanding. It would hurt you. It would affect you, because it affects their thinking. Look at the gentleman that called yesterday that his wife, one of the pastors or a pastors or church or whatever, they've said things to his wife that her father is this, and also the husband has been initiated, and for 2 years they don't even speak in the house. Look at that. He's thinking that he's okay as a person. I have sound mind, but my wife, the wife, which is like, the next person to him, how is that affecting their home? How is it affecting their children? Being married to somebody and not even trusting God that he will protect you, and you can still mingle with your husband because you've been told non-truth or some sort of lie, even if it's true, by somebody that your husband is being initiated to some kind of group or something. It just is really bad, and I think we really need to work on this. So we must start to speak. We must start to speak the truth that we know immediately. We've run out of time, guys, and I'm sorry I haven't been able to read all your comments at all. I know that there's been a few more comments, and I would like if I read your comments. So let me read a couple of your comments. God will get them out on time. God will get them out with time. Yes, it will get them out with time, but how is he going to do that, Mary? He needs you to do that. God is not going to do it magically. He needs human beings to function those actions, to do those actions so that he can get them out on time. So don't let us just cover it up with all these cliche things that we say, but we need the real actions to do them. And we are the solution. Mary, you and I, not just you and I, not just Dr. Sunday, all of us. When we come to the true knowledge of truth, we need to speak it out. Speak it out repeatedly, just like those people are repeatedly saying the lies. You repeatedly say the truth, and then let the truth stand for itself. Caller, they see just like the Babalawo too. When they say such, I see them as evil spirits. Yes, Mary, you're right. That's for Chinwe's comment that somebody mentioning what happened to her 6 years ago. Yes, and this is how they get people to really get sucked in believing them. For me personally, I don't care if somebody says what happened to me some years ago. Those things I never catch on to it, because so what if it happened? It's like in prophecies. You know how I just make fun of prophets, the fake prophets. So excuse me. They come and they say things, and I'm like, well, so what happened to me in the past? So what? Anyone could know that, even if it happened to just me, with me and God, is a possibility that somebody else was there, or, and even at that, what difference does it make if you try to tell me what happened? I always know that this is a scam when they tell you what's happened in the past. So that's one way of knowing as well. And Dr. Sunday also alluded us to that when they start talking about your past, what has happened, what God has died for, what is all done and dusted, then you know that they're using some kind of familiar spirit to go and see back, in the past. Who cares about the past? So please, let's move on. That's what we should say to them, that, hey, don't worry, prophet, move on. So thank you, guys. I've been told here that I've got to log out, but I'm enjoying my time with you. Not enjoying it as in just pleasure, but in terms of rubbing minds together in knowledge. Of course, that is just true. Some churches leaders got the power from Juju House, and they're using the power to take an advantage of the ignorance of Christians. The most annoying part of this of it is that people are paying less attention to the evil acts in our society and the world at large. Gift, I'm going to end with that comment that you made, and it's a brilliant comment, because they're keeping us busy with all these activities and things and all these atrocities. We're focusing on the wrong things, and everything is happening in our world, and we're keeping quiet. We're not even engaged with the world. We're just in another planet. We're not aligned with God's plans for us, because we're too busy running after those people that are keeping us busy, like children. No, not even like children. It's an insult to children. They're just keeping us busy and just wasting our minds until we're tired and our body is just giving up on us. So please don't let us allow this to continue. Let us help each other. Let us help ourselves. Please don't let us allow anyone to fail in this matter. Let us really help each other to be victorious as we should be. Chinwe, thank you very much. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you all. I appreciate you, Al. Good evening. Thank you for joining. Victor, how are you? Kay, good evening. Theophilus, thank you for joining. Theophilus says, I'm looking like Queen Julie. Oh, am I? Okay. Thank you. Should I say thank you? I don't know. Julie and I look totally different, but sometimes I know Julie don't wear any lipsticks. So maybe that's why you're saying that. Why did I have to mention that again? Okay, Mary says, color this. Thank you very much. Guys, I think I should go now. I need to get ready. We need to get ready for the next program. Dr. Sunday will be with us in just 45 minutes. So be with us in 45 minutes. Please join us. I'm looking forward to hearing this next program, or what Dr. Sunday will be talking about. I cannot wait. Even though it does pain me, I also want to learn, and I also want to be able to prefer a solution, and I only prefer a solution when I have understanding of exactly what is going on. So thank you very much. I love your time. I love the time with you and the engagement of your contribution, the call from Chinwe, and also your numerous comments, which thank you, I appreciate. If I didn't read out your comment this evening, my apologies. I always aim to read out everyone's comments, but if I didn't read yours out this evening, I apologize. Thank you very much. So I will see you again in 45 minutes. I will see you tomorrow, but Dr. Sunday will be back in 45 minutes. So take care. See you soon. Bye.